What's up, everybody? So yesterday, got to see my travels, and two of the games in UEL that I thought were interesting. Today there are going to be three different responses to how we played. So if you don't know, we played against the Wolves. We lost by one in overtime due to a few things. I take a good chunk of the blame on myself, but I know a bunch of people do on the team. But so I have my initial reaction as I was driving home. Then I have my reaction a day later that I did on stream. And then I'm going to have my reaction now a week later of my thoughts, opinions, what went well, what didn't go well, things like that. So this is going to be more like here's this, and then this, and then this. And we're going to get to a different system for these vlogs going forward. But this was my first iteration into it, and I wanted to make sure that I put stuff out for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Like always, if you do, please like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends and family. Go check out the UEL. There's a game today. It started. It's about halfway done by the time this video uploads. So go check it out. Watch the video first, then check it out. But it should be interesting. So thank you guys so much, and let's get into it.
Just got home from the game. It's very late. I'm very tired. I should turn my fan off. It's probably better. I'm very tired. We went into OT against the Wolves and then just had a mistake in lineups, so we couldn't actually play the game. My fighters that I thought were going to feel good all felt like trash, so we got to work on that for next week. I'm going to do a more like official thing that's not on my phone once I get to my computer and everything. But I didn't get to play a single racer, which was kind of sad. We rolled the league and it felt weird. We just didn't have everyone that we needed to have for league to play well. But we destroyed an Apex. It felt good. Felt really, really good. You guys are gonna see that. You guys actually probably already saw it. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this yet, so you guys probably already saw it. We'll see though. I didn't record any B-roll or anything at the league. I was too focused on trying to be locked in and play. I won King of Fighters. I mean, my team won. I played with Tony and B, and Tony took a stock and a half, and then I took a stock and a half, I'm pretty sure. B did damage on first, I think. I don't remember exact. It's fucking late. But GG's to the Wolves. Sorry, I'm trying to think. GG's to the Wolves. Played well. Y'all talk a lot of shit, but fuck it. That's the league. It happens. We got some work to do, but big thing is big thing is we had our setups down. We didn't get to play all of our games. We had some bad lineup roll stuff, but that's not on me. I messed up in a few of my games that I need to work on, but hey, it's the first week of a long season, so that's fine. So I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get in my house and go to sleep because I have to go to work in the morning. And my neighbor's Christmas lights are still on. So sorry for the random glare. But yeah. So next week we have a bye. So lots of practicing this week, practice all weekend, and then we get back to it after that.
I want to have a semi-quick conversation about some of the stuff I took away from our first game. So if you didn't watch my first UEL game, you should go back and watch it. UEL Esports on Twitch, twitch.tv/UEL Esports. It was a very interesting game. I'm gonna talk about takeaways as a whole and then takeaways from myself. As a whole, I went into the game very nervous, and the atmosphere and how all of that league runs was very enjoyable and inviting. There was some trash talk, but it's video games. Everyone trash talks, right? I have to like remember that and separate that in my brain. But a lot of it was good. There were some things that happened. It is a league. Not every decision makes sense to everyone, but overall, it was a really good time. We went into the game as a team, in my opinion, feeling as if we had spent some time playing some of the games together that were, games to play together, which there's a lot of them that you play with at least one other person, and putting an amount of work in ourselves individually in some more of the solo games. But really, the big thing, and I talked with Rory about this a lot, is a lot of their last season, the Phantoms, even though they didn't really have a roster, were still really, trying to figure out how to set up games, how to make sure they weren't forfeiting things like that, right? And we played a game against another team that was an expansion team last year, the Wolves, who also didn't really have a lineup, who had a lineup for this game, but they still were forfeiting and using timeouts for game setups the entire time. Now they beat us. They beat us by one. They beat us fair and square. We're gonna talk about some of that. I think part of that is because a lot of the games that were their setup that ended up being forfeits were games that would have took longer that we would have won. So there would have been less time on the clock, leading to less games. Now, is that positive or negative? There's no real way of knowing. Um, but the fact that our first game we had setups locked, and there were 3 times that we got timeouts for setups, but one of them I don't agree with. Actually, 2 of them I don't agree with, but I don't make the rules. I'm just a player. Um, the other ones made some kind of sense, and then we used the timeout in the end to try to push a lot of things. Um, but our setups were good. I feel like when we played the team play, like the team games, some of them felt really good. Apex felt amazing. I played Apex with Arbiter and Dolo. That felt super good. Now we had a pretty good idea of what we were going in and doing there, but it felt very, very, very good. Halo. Halo. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I sold Halo, straight up. I haven't played Halo in a while. I had my triggers in the wrong spots on my controller. I wasn't finishing kills. We do AR pistol, and I was not finishing pistol kills. My movement was garbage. A lot of that, I tried to make too many hero plays that I shouldn't have tried to make, which also ended up being a problem. Like a lot of those things are just things that I need to adjust and improve. And that's on me, like 100% truthfully on me. Um, but I think overall as a team, we didn't win, right? We came out with an L, but we learned a lot and we got a lot more comfortable with each other in the process. And if anything, as a rookie coming into a team that I knew a little bit but didn't know a lot of, trying to put myself into that atmosphere and that ecosystem, it felt really, really good. I honestly goodness enjoyed myself a lot. Now, my 6 hour drive home, did I spend a lot of time focusing on the stuff I screwed up? Yeah, I did. And I am going to say that I definitely didn't play up to my standards for gameplay. I will say that I don't think that my coach or GM or rest of my team feels as if I did anything horrible. But first things first, I didn't get my fight stick connected to the consoles because I didn't know how and I didn't take the time to figure it out beforehand. And that's a failure on my part that can't happen. Now, obviously, I own 2 PCs. I don't own a console. I've never had to connect my fight stick to a console. I play all my fighters on PC, right? But the league plays on consoles. If I'm gonna use a fight stick on consoles, I need to know how to connect to the console. And that's on me. That's something I need to do, right? Because we rolled 2 or 3 fighters within the first 3 or 4 games. I went in for Street Fighter. I went in for Mortal Kombat. I've spent a good amount of time on Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. I got one stocked in Street Fighter, and I got almost perfected in Mortal Kombat. That's not acceptable. If I've been putting this much time into fighters over the past 2 weeks, not at least going, 2-1 or dealing a chunk of damage in those fighters is not okay. Now, I was on a controller. I did not know my buttons, which didn't help me, but I need to at least look competent. I wasn't even blocking. If you look at the overtime game that we played for the game that we couldn't actually play because we didn't get our lineup in and we lost because of that, and that's a whole different conversation I'm not going to go into. Um, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I got one stocked. I got one stocked without even getting TOD'd. Like I just got comboed 4 different times because I couldn't block. Because I was so anxious that I was pushing the pace and not doing the most basic rule of fighters of just blocking and letting your opponent show you their opening and playing your opening. And I know that. And I did that in MK and I did that in Street Fighter. And that was a problem. And that needs to be fixed now. I need to fix that right now. There needs to be more patience in my fighter gameplay. It has to happen. I can't. We don't have a game this weekend, but next weekend, I cannot go into a game without patience. That is not okay. I have to have patience in my fighters. Shooters, I played Apex, I played Gears. Apex, like I said already, felt very good. Gears of War, I need to put some time into the multiplayer of that game because my shot didn't feel perfect. Also, I didn't understand that if you hit escape and you're the host of the game, it pauses it for everyone. So I lost the game for my team because I went to change my settings and it paused for everyone, and then I had to not play the rest of the game. And the team seemingly looked a little bit more off when I wasn't playing. Now, is that me maybe tooting my own horn a little bit? Maybe. But when I come into a league with the belief that in shooters I can hold my own, then I do that. That's a problem. In Halo, I wasn't finishing my kills. We already talked about this. That's a problem. We didn't play Valorant. In Apex, I held my own. Apex felt good. And what was the other? Oh, and then Call of Duty we didn't get to play because the Wolves screwed up the setup. Which again, our assumption was COD was going to be the last game on the wheel. We were tied. So Wolves actually get their setup done. Dolo and I play Resurgence for 20 minutes, which isn't even that hard of a thing to do, or long enough that then our setup for the last game takes us to the end of the game. Which means we would have had to play COD for like 18 minutes, which wouldn't have been that hard to do, especially Resurgence, right? Because you have a load-in time, you have the loadout time, plus checking like all of that. So we might have been able to pull it off. But those were the two categories I was like, oh, I can come in, I can do this. I didn't perform the way I wanted to. We played League. I think my Lux was pretty good. I think my team and all of us need to just work on an understanding of how League of Legends works a little bit more. We were getting, we got Blitz Thresh hooked a lot. They played League more than I thought. They had a very good team comp. Actually, I kind of want to steal their team comp because they played Blitz Thresh, Draven, Varus, and Jinx. So you just played 2 hooks and then 3 ADCs. It makes sense. New season though, so there's gonna be new patches, so we're gonna have to adjust that. And then we didn't play. The only other strategy game we played was Dead by Daylight. StarCraft failed. They messed up setup. None of the other strategy game. Oh, Pokemon, they didn't have setup. So we, we just kind of didn't play them. StarCraft, I think we would have won. Also, StarCraft would have took a lot of time off, which would have been nice. StarCraft, I had been labbing, and a few of my teammates had been labbing. And there were 2 of us that played the game plus 2 of us that didn't. And I don't think the other team plays StarCraft because they didn't know how to set up a custom game, which takes 2 seconds to do. So strategy-wise, didn't really get to do much. I didn't really have the ability to show off. like I said, my Lux was good, but League's a 5v5 game, and you got to work together, right? By the way, also shooters, Overwatch rolled and they screwed up setup, so we didn't get to play Overwatch. Last category, sports games. I didn't play a single sports game, which I'm okay with because sports games are not my expertise by any stretch of the imagination. Um, but I do know that within these next 2 weeks, I want to put in at least a day or two in FIFA, in Madden. We can't do NHL, we can't do UFC, so probably just FIFA and Madden. There's another sports game that I can play that I can't remember off the top of my head. But we're gonna do a little bit of work there because it needs to happen. I need to put time in there. Oh, racers. The only racer we played was Wreckfest. I was not in the lineup because I was out of rotation. Every other racer was a forfeit because either they couldn't set it up or they didn't know how to join the game. Which means Forza, which rolled, would have taken time, would have been a win. Instead, took 2 minutes and they forfeit. CarX Drift, which they chose a big drift. So it was going to be 6-7 minutes once we were in the lobby to finishing it done. They couldn't join the lobby, so they forfeit, and it took 2 minutes. Crash, which they might have won because I don't think a lot of my team plays Crash Team Racing. I wasn't in for it. They messed up in forfeit. And then the other racers on the wheel we didn't play because we didn't play F1. And then is there another racer? No, and then we did play Wreckfest and we lost Wreckfest. But that's because none of us play Wreckfest and it's Wreckfest. The game's dumb. I'm not even gonna front or lie about that. The game's stupid. I didn't it's not a game that I would play normally. Oh, the other shooter that we played was Fortnite. I didn't play Fortnite, but I'm telling you right now, Arbiter can 1v3 Fortnite, which makes me feel better about not knowing how to build because all I have to do is support that crazy man. And he's crazy and awesome at what he does. It was impressive. So that's really my feelings. I mean, all right. So in the moment, I definitely was just very frustrated with my own inabilities to play. It's a week later, and I've thought through some things. And first things first, I should know how to play fighters on a controller and on my fight stick. So that way, if my fight stick doesn't work, I can still play the game. And I've been working on that, and I need to put more time in to work on that, and I'm going to do that. When it comes to some of the shooters, when it comes to Halo and Gears of War, I didn't understand that I could, not change my sensitivity because I was the host, so I couldn't pause. That's my fault. That's just game understanding. I need to understand how the game works. Halo was on me. I need to get more kills. I need to play better. If we're playing TDM, I need to just be better at what I'm doing. It's just the truth, right? But that's not everything that goes into a UEL game. UEL isn't just, I can play my game and win them. I mean, it's a big part of it, right? It's an esports league, but UEL is still UEL. I went back and watched the whole thing, and yeah, I chalked up 3 fighters in a row because I forgot how to block in Mortal Kombat because you have to hit a button, and I didn't know what it was on controller. I got just Zangief command grabbed to absolute crap, which I now know how to stop. I spent time working on it. And then I'm gonna be real and honest, and I'm recording this before I actually finish doing this edit, so I don't remember if I said this in either of the other times, but I'm gonna reiterate it. There's probably some reiterated points through all of these. The fact that we didn't get to play a bunch of games because the setups were screwed up, I think in the long run led to more games being played, which put us in the position we were in. I know that we planned on Call of Duty being the last game. Dolo and I can play Call of Duty for 20 minutes on Resurgence pretty easily, especially with, startup time and all of that. And then we would have gotten a 4-minute changeover because then Dragon Ball rolled. Or Dragon Ball spinned. So as long as there was less than 4 minutes left on the clock. So we only had to play COD for 15, 16 minutes. And then that's game. It's over. Dolo and I win. we're done. No, Madden World, which is a super long game. But it's on console, so it's 2 minute setup. So maybe we play Madden, and we're in the same spot. But I think we could have taken it to close enough where it wouldn't have mattered. We could have just stayed alive, right? We could have just played time if we're up. If we have like a bunch of kills, we just play time, make sure that we can make it through, right? But we didn't play. I didn't get to play a single racer all day, and I know probably watching my streams and like if you were to talk to me before UEL started, you wouldn't think I'd be like, oh, I want to play racers. I wanted to play F1 so bad. I wanted to play Forza so bad. I wanted to play CarX Drift, and I had the lobby set up, and they just didn't join. Like, I wanted to do that. Those are also games that take time, right? So if we look at Call of Duty with 20 minutes left, if we had played those 3 racers, that would have, like, we would have gotten COD with, like, 2 minutes left. Right? So I think that's a big thing. But I also, and I know I said this at the end of the like actual gameplay stuff yesterday. I am also realizing that once it comes to being in a LAN environment, I am what I am normally as a person, which means I know you guys probably watch my streams sometimes and you hear me cussing out Lettuce or Chris or Derek, right? And making those jokes. But when it comes to LAN environments, I'm very calm. I don't scream and yell that much. And I think I'm going to have to not only do that a little bit more to help pump myself up, but also understand that the league as a whole is a lot of trash talking. And I need to not let that get to me as much. And I need to just play my games and stay focused. And that's just, I mean, I haven't done anything in a competitive setting besides like online tournaments where I'm by myself. And even then, those I haven't done a lot in like 7-8 years, right? Since high school. And so getting that understanding to help center myself, I need to work on that. And then I had a conversation with B and Dub yesterday about I need to have the self-confidence that I know what I'm doing. And that's just a thing I need to work on and improve and grow on myself. And so if I took anything from this one, our first loss, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure we lost because Dub forgot to put the lineup in. Because I'm pretty sure B and Arbiter, even though I got destroyed in Dragon Ball Z, just wipe house and we still win. Arbiter is... I'm so happy Arbiter's on my team. I loved playing with him. He's a super cool guy. And he's good at his shit. I was not good at my shit, and that's my own fault. But that also comes down to lack of confidence along with just, first game nerves. I'm not going to lie, right? It's my first game in the league, whatever. And we were down. Like, being down, I need to, and DZ brought it up, I need to learn that it's okay to lose and not let that affect me. And we all know I have a problem with that. That's been documented plenty, that learning that it's okay to lose is not my specialty. So we're going to work on that too. But overall, I think this game comes down to we could have won. I'm not going to talk for the team as a whole, but I shot myself in the foot and I screwed up some things I shouldn't have screwed up to make sure that I was good and I could play. And that's on no one but like me. That's on me. Right? That's no one else's fault. It's my fault. And I'm owning up to that. And I have spent, multiple hours in Street Fighter making sure that I don't get one stock by Zangief. I think my Kingdom Fighters was pretty good. I think what I'm learning is of the fighters, I don't like MK1 and I don't like GGS. I don't like MK1. I don't like Guilty Gear Strive. Now, some people are going to say that's because they're the only games that don't have auto combos in them. And I'm going to say you're not wrong. Except the fact that, oh my god, why did I forget it? DNF Duel doesn't have auto combos, but I like DNF. But I think that's because DNF is simpler. So understanding that, right? Mortal Kombat, you can't back to block, you have to hold the button. That just makes me angry. We didn't get to play Racers. I'm upset about that. I want to play Racers. I really hope we play Racers, this upcoming weekend. I want to sit down in a Racer because I wanted to sit down and play shooters and we saw what happened there. So I need to sit down and play Racers and see where I actually am on that spectrum. And I'm a rookie. Like, it's been said to me and said by people, not every rookie is expected to come into the league and just pop off. Now, some people are, but I'm still figuring stuff out, right? We're still moving forward. We're still getting comfortable with the team. We're still figuring things out. So, overall, it was a good first week. It taught me a lot. Obviously, a loss sucks. Losses are not great. Now, we are in a division that is us, the Trolls, and the Ravens. The Ravens are 0-1, we're 0-1, and the Trolls are 1-0, which means the Trolls are top of the division. We play the Trolls in week 3, um, so we're gonna have to get there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed seeing different perspectives. I think there's some different perspectives. I think I'm way more calm and collected and understanding of like what I need to do and what happened now than I was even a day later. And that's the benefit of sitting back and looking at it and figuring it out, right? So we're gonna just keep working. I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep putting time in. It's not like I'm not putting the time in. I need to put a little bit more time into some things, but we learned that. We're gonna move forward. So thank you guys so much and have a great day.